Hello there, family.
Family.
I didn't see you there.
What's up?
And family, welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner. I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That's me, y'all. What's up, fam?
The apple of my eye.
Yes, I am.
The wind beneath my wings.
Yes.
The rib that completes me.
Completely completed. You like the way I said that?
The June to my ward.
Leave it to Beaver.
Girl, there you go.
Boom,
There you go.
boom, 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 boom.
But actually,
it ain't Leave It to Beaver?
no, you're exactly right. It is Leave It to Beaver.
Okay.
Ward and June Cleaver.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing is, I knew you were going to get that one right away
How you know?
because I think you were about 16 when that show originally aired. So I knew you would get that one right away, right off the
I'm
bat.
going to meditate and get my chi together for this episode, y'all. Yum.
Okay, are you meditating or are you mocking my grandson? Because right now you sound like Pooh.
No, Pooh say
No, Pooh say nimmy, 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 nimmy.
Yeah.
And then point the finger.
And point his finger. He be serious about that
He be
thing.
dead serious about it.
What's going on, family? What is going on, guys? I am his wife, the co-host, the best, and the hostess with the mostest, Angela Crenshaw. Guys, what is going on?
Oh, we're doing something new now.
What is going
Oh, okay,
on?
you're feeling yourself. You're doing something new now.
You see me? You see me?
Well, family, that is my wife. Apparently, with all these adjectives that she's throwing in there, explaining who she is.
Yeah.
But family, that is my wonderful wife. Family, as always, we want to begin the show with thanking you.
Thank you, guys.
For our new family members.
What is going on, family?
How we doing?
How y'all feeling?
Greetings and
Greetings.
salutations.
Yes.
We welcome you, family. Now, for our new
Yes.
family members, I'm pretty sure the question is, what makes me family?
Yes.
Simply what you've just done.
You just did it.
You're listening.
You're listening to
And
the Crenshaw
family,
Corner.
you're listening. However you're listening.
Yes.
Whether it's on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon,
Yes.
Google, iHeartRadio,
Come on now.
or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. We thank you so much for listening.
And here's the catch.
What's the catch?
Even if you only listen for 5 or 10 minutes, like, they not for me, guess what? You and the family.
You still family.
You family.
You just a distant relative at that point.
You a distant,
But you still family.
You're a distant relative.
Yeah, you know you don't always talk and deal with distant relatives, but they still family.
They still family. Yes.
And for our returning family members, you already know how we feel about you.
What's up, returners?
Yes. Now, our new family members, please do not get offended.
Please don't.
Do not feel some kind of way.
We love you too.
We love you, and there's a special place in our heart and soul for you.
But the returners.
But there's just something about those returning family members
Love the returners, man.
where they tune in,
Yes.
they listen,
Yes.
they deal with my wife's craziness,
Wow.
and yet
They keep coming back.
they still return.
We love y'all, man.
And we appreciate that.
Yes,
we truly do.
We do.
And as always, welcome to the cookout.
Yes.
And please make sure you bring some aluminum foil so you can wet bag.
Take something with you.
So you can take something with you.
You've been trying to change that since fall is coming. That's your problem. Why you keep stuttering?
Probably so.
What you want to change it to Tupperware?
No, I don't want to change it. I don't want to change it. Keep the aluminum foil.
You don't want the aluminum foil?
No. keep
Wax
the aluminum
paper.
foil. No.
Saran wrap.
First of all, I can't stand saran wrap.
Saran
I
wrap.
can't stand
Parchment
because it.
paper. Sorry, go
I don't
ahead.
want to do this with you no more.
Okay.
I don't want to do this with you no more.
I'm serious.
So, family, welcome to the cookout.
What's
Make
up,
sure you
y'all?
bring some aluminum foil so you can take something with you.
Yes.
A Crenshaw gem, a nugget,
yes.
a change of perspective,
Aha moment.
an aha moment.
Just get ready.
something.
Just something.
Just something.
Be ye prepared.
Be ye
prepared.
Be ye ready.
Yeah.
Be ye ready.
Be ye ready and prepared.
And family, as always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast.
We are.
So what that means is that we can be found on the socials.
Yes.
We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
I felt like you were expecting me to say that we instas, because family, we instas, y'all. We out here on Instagram.
I
think he was expecting me to say we bookers because we on Facebook.
No, I was doing a silent prayer, hoping that you wouldn't at all.
And we tweet.
And we tweet.
And we tweet.
So family, it is Friday.
It is Friday. You made it.
You made it.
And it's September.
It is September's
Labor Day.
You made it. We is amongst if you's in the United States of America.
Was it Monday's Labor Day?
Monday is Labor Day.
And after that, don't you pull out no more white. I bet I see a white pant, a white jacket. I bet a white blazer.
Is we still doing that?
I don't know.
No, not wearing it. But is we still holding to the rule that you're not supposed to do white after Labor Day?
I don't know. That's how I was raised. I'm from New York.
Well, I'm just saying
don't get beat up.
We've already established you wasn't really raised right. We've already established that a long time back.
To me, I'm just saying. That's what my family says. I've been with my family.
Family, here's what I'm gonna say. Be a rebel. Be a rebel. If you wants to wear the white suit after Labor Day, you wear the white suit.
Don't kick. Just all I'm saying, you can do what you want to do.
If you want to do a white out, you do the white shirt with the white pants, with the white socks and the white gaiters.
You do it
with the white leather belt.
Just don't make a mistake and knock into and see the Crenshaws, because I'm gonna hit you with something.
Wow.
Because you ain't got no business in white after Labor Day.
First of all,
I told you this.
You can't tell a grown person what to wear after Labor Days.
Okay, let me try this again. Family, do not wear white after Labor Day.
Family, I tried to tell you shit, bully.
Don't do it.
But anyway, family.
What's up, baby?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. How
Happy
you feeling?
Friday.
Happy Friday, baby.
Happy Freedom Friday.
Yes, it's Freedom Friday, y'all.
Hey, family, guess what? We are bringing you a full Crenshaw Corner episode.
Come on.
Actually on a Friday.
It ain't on Saturday.
It's not on Saturday.
Or Thursday.
It actually is on a Friday.
You so proud.
I actually am.
We so proud of yourself.
We really is.
We are proud of ourselves.
So bad.
We got so much going on, so we trying to make sure that we do right before we do wrong. So listen, I want to take the mic on this one today.
Please take the mic.
On Freedom Friday.
On Freedom Friday, it's all yours.
Because I had this thought process.
That gets me in troubles every time you do.
About a month ago. Okay, let me just. So anybody who's been listening or who knows me know that I have a couple of health issues. And so one of them is I have bone on bone arthritis in my knee, arthritis, so however they want to call it, bone on bone. And so some days I can walk well.
Right.
Some days I can bend it. Some days I can't.
Some days it's a struggle for you.
Some days it's a struggle. Some days I can't get out the bed. It's just really, really bad. And I have it in both, but I have it the worst in my left knee. Well, what's been happening is Sanchez been having an attitude with me, and then that's going to bring it to the family. But I'm gonna talk about you for a minute.
You always want to talk about somebody.
Want to talk about it. So, in the marriage vows, it says "till death do us part," right?
Yeah.
And so we kind of blur. We say it, but we really don't know what that entails. We really
sickness and health.
Right, sickness and health.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse. Till death do us part. And so the whole sickness and health thing, till death do us part, is what really want to discuss. We're mostly sickness and health.
Oh, this is gonna be a depressing episode.
This
okay, cool.
It's not depressing because I need to know what's wrong with you. So anyway,
what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with you? So anyway, in sickness and health, and so what has happened lately, I'm so frustrated with being in pain so much,
right?
That it just bothers me. Sometimes I can't even sleep, right? And so when I try to get in the bed, with this knee, it is a whole lot of production.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to interrupt. I want to interject just for a moment.
Go ahead, Mr. Crenshaw.
Family, understand. Let me give you a slight visual. Once again, for those who have not experienced my wife is not on the taller side.
I'm 5'2". I'm 5'2", baby.
She is on the shorter side.
I'm 5'2". That is not short. That's average size.
All right, baby. So for a third grader, my wife is extremely tall.
Hater.
For a third grader.
Hater. He hates y'all.
Our living quarters, our bed, it's rather high.
It is high.
We have the stilts under the bed, the things that lift the bed.
Let's call them the risers.
The risers.
The risers.
Thank you very much.
The risers, baby.
Because my wife felt like under the bed needed to be storage. It needed to be storage space.
Because that's where you put the sneakers and stuff at, so you can get to them.
Anyway.
You keep them in the boxes. You keep them really nice and neat, and you can get to. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway. So we have the risers. So our bed is already high. It sits high off the ground.
Right. Yes.
So you take someone who is tall for a third grader, and you take a bed that's extremely high, and those things really don't go together.
It does.
Because most of the times, even when she had two good legs,
you a sucker.
She was hopping. She would get a running start. It was almost like an Olympic event with the. It's not the pole vault.
What?
It's not the high jump. The one where they run and they jump over backwards over the ball. Is it high ball? I can't remember the name of the event.
I refuse to even answer you.
But it's that one.
Was my silence deafening?
So
I need to know.
So she would get a running start, which is really cute because her little legs going.
First of all, I'm not getting a running start.
I'm saying,
baby, stop telling tales.
You remember Family from my older generation? You guys remember the cartoon Speedy Gonzalez? And when he started running and his little legs going really fast before he take off, did he take off? That was my wife, because she be running, her little legs just be going. Her little legs just be going.
Finish
and then
your
she
sentence.
take off. And then she jump.
Finish your sentence without that.
I'm just saying. Anyway. So now she's having an issue with that because her little legs don't move as fast as they used to. But continue, because you was having a touching moment. So continue.
Forget you now. Forget it. So what happened was I tried to get on the bed,
right,
and I want to do it for myself, right? And he's always putting his hand out. And so I'm like, baby, no.
And she rejects it.
And he like every time he's like, baby, let me help you. And so was it last month you yelled at me?
Yeah, I did, because I got sick of you.
He was like, I'm going to tell you what he said. He was like, why the hell,
I did.
Sorry, y'all, you won't let me help you?
I did. I was frustrated.
And I was like in tears because I'm like, you didn't sign up for this, right? You didn't sign up to have to help me in the bed and help me down the steps. And I just felt like he just didn't sign up for that. And this is in my mind, people. He didn't sign up for that, to not sign up for it maybe when we're much older,
right,
but not at this age group. I think I need to say that first. And not in this age group, right? And I felt like, no, this is a burden for him. And I'm gonna do this myself. And he was just so frustrated. So he just yelled and cursed at me. And he was like, why wouldn't you? And I tried to explain to him, and he didn't get it. Why didn't you get it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I tried to explain to you, and then he reminded me of, sickness and health till death do us part.
Right.
But again, we say that in the marriage vows, but we don't know what that's going to look like or what it's going to feel like, or even if we're going to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds good until you get a family member who's sick or who's hurt or who's in pain or something like that, and you got to do these things. And I just felt like he didn't sign up for it in this age group, in this age range. So why were you so frustrated though? That's what I want to talk to you about, like, and just talk to the people, because I know it was frustrating for you because you do not yell and you do not curse at me ever.
Right.
So that was like, wait a minute. I was kind of taken back by that. What was that about?
Did you clutch your pearls?
I didn't clutch my pearls. I clutched my gold chain.
Well, let's have that conversation for a second.
Yeah.
Before we have that conversation, I think what happens, and I could totally be wrong, but I think they put that part of the vows in last, so people really kind of phase over it, because by that time you've done the really feel good. A lot of the times people say their own vows, and so you've had the touching moments, you've had the crying moments. He's looked her in her eyes, she's looked him in his eyes. You've had those moments, and then they kind of go over, the for better or for worse, for sickness and health, the death do us part. I not pronounce you
right.
And I think because they do that, because a lot of people really don't, like you said, we don't really have those conversations of what it's really going to look like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're thinking that part is the latter part.
The way latter part. Because that's what I thought, right.
Especially for a couple that they get married in their 20s and their 30s.
Absolutely.
They're thinking that part, that's 40, 50, 60 years down the road.
60, 70 years old, maybe even 80 while we here.
So, and they don't really think that maybe 10 years into the marriage, maybe 7 years into the marriage, maybe 20 years into the marriage,
that a sickness and disease,
that sickness and better for worse comes. For me, my frustration is that I am your support system in everything else. You badger me in different ways about everything else. Help you do this and help me do that.
That's like to build furniture and stuff, babe.
But then, your project becomes my project
every time.
Stuff that at the end of the day really has no value or no weight to it. That stuff you harass me and badger me about.
Right.
But the things that actually has weight, the things that actually does matter,
right.
Your health, you need an assistance, and that's what you're fighting me on.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that, especially when it's one thing if you could do it and didn't want to do it, but it's sometimes where you're physically unable to complete the task that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
you're physically unable at times because your knee hurts so much or because your leg locks up on you.
Yeah.
That you physically can't get into bed.
Yeah. Or get out of a chair.
And I'm like, but babe, I am here.
Yeah.
So let me help. It has nothing to do with I signed up for it all.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When I literally signed up for it all, because that's the thing about marriage that people don't understand. You're signed in an open-ended contract.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the terms.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
That's the thing about marriage.
Yeah.
You don't know the terms of you don't know the terms.
You don't know what's going to, it's like the kids be like, I'll take the punishment. You don't even know what
You don't know what the punishment is.
You sure you want to take it?
Yeah.
You sure?
And that's about marriage. We're signing up and we're hoping for the best.
Right.
But we don't know the outcome.
Yeah.
There's been marriages that they're young couples. They're in their 20s or in their 30s and something happens that changes the game.
Yeah.
And now it's a whole different scenario. So when you tell me I didn't sign up for that, no, I did. I signed up for it all.
But see, when I say didn't sign, I always like we were just talking about the age group. I'm thinking so far out you would have to deal with that. Not right now in the age that we are, And again, it's so crazy because, if I'm in pain, I don't let him see it, or I'll wait till he go in the bathroom.
Like I don't know that you're in pain.
So I'll wait till he go in the bathroom, and then I'll try to get on the bed or try to get on a chair, or try to get out of a chair. And see, the thing is, they make fun of me because I don't sit on the living room couch. I don't do it.
No,
I do not do a living room couch, not mine. And because if I do do a living room couch, I can't get up from the living room couch. My leg will not allow me to get up from the living room couch, and so I'm like, he didn't sign up for this to be like, baby, can you come help me down the steps? Or can you help me what in the world? And again, I understand, but in my mind, I'm like, we're young. I think it has more to do with me because we're young and we shouldn't be going through this at all right now versus you. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so I feel like I'm going through it. We don't both need to go through it at the same time,
See,
though.
Here's the thing, though.
I'm just telling you my perspective of why I act the way I act sometimes.
And I understand that, but it's twofold that I have an issue with. And actually really hearing you verbalize it, I actually have more of an issue with it now.
Really?
I actually do.
Because I've never said it to you.
I know.
I just say no.
Yeah, and actually hearing you verbalize it and your rationale behind it, I'm not going to pick apart your rationale because it's your rationale. But what I am going to say is where I got an issue.
Okay. You need some water?
I got an issue with it.
Well, you need some water.
I know what I wanted to say. My brain couldn't function right for that moment. It's A, you're making a decision for me. And then B, you're being unfair, for lack of a better term. Because don't make that decision for me. I can choose on what I want to be a part of and what I don't want to be a part of.
See,
If I don't want to help you, I'll say no.
But I feel like I'm protecting you, basically. I'm protecting you from my frustration. I'm protecting you from my pain. I'm protecting you from having to deal with all of this that I'm going through at the time that I'm going through it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't feel selfish. I feel like I'm protecting you at that time when I'm
Isn't the purpose of marriage is to have someone to go through stuff with them?
Yeah.
Isn't that the purpose of marriage?
Yeah.
So you don't have to go through things alone. So you don't have to travel down. So you don't have to travel this journey alone.
It sounds good.
Didn't Pastor Holly Fuddick just do a whole wonderful, extraordinary sermon about the connection?
Yes, but
about not being alone.
But here's the thing:
about walking this journey.
Are you done
with someone?
And you know what? In the truth, yeah, absolutely, she did a fantastic job. But even in your own mind, you're saying, if I go through this, I know Sanchez is going to be there. He's going to be there for me, and I know that. But then when it's the going through, and then it's like, do I want to put that much on someone else? And no, I don't have a right to make that choice for you. But it sounds good, like what you just said, until you're the person that's sick or you're the person that's going through it, and then you're like, what in the world? Because at one point it was like, I'm just tired of being in pain, and I just don't feel like talking about it anymore.
Well, then that's two different conversations then, And I get that part.
No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, tell me why.
Because once you knew about the pain and everything, you were like, baby, you all right? Or you would try to beat me to like, baby, I'm helping you in the bed. And I'm like, well, babe, come on, don't go that way, go this way. I don't want that. I just want to be able to do what I can do. But I knew that because you take such good care of me, that's not going to happen once you know that I'm in pain or.
Right, but then you're a hypocrite then.
Why am I a hypocrite?
Nah, see, there you go, that aha moment. Epiphany.
Oh, what? Say it again.
Epiphany.
I know what you're about to say. And it's the truth before you even say it, but go ahead.
Because you know exactly what I'm about to say. Because family, unfortunately, we are youngish. We're not young, but we're youngish. But unfortunately, we've experienced some medical issues. Kind of let you in a little secret about myself. I suffer from back issues. I have a bulging disc and a herniated disc. So it's two different discs, which cause me excruciating pain. So there are times when at my worst, I can't walk. I will lose all feeling in my right or my left leg, and I'll get to a situation where standing hurts, sitting hurts, lying down hurts, sitting down hurts, breathing hurts.
Yeah,
I'm like definitely afraid to sneeze.
Yeah.
And so, and I go through that when I have my episodes, but you're right. You won't let me do anything. You're trying to lift me up. I weigh almost 200 more pounds than you do. You trying to lift me up. You trying to carry me. You trying to lift me out the bed. All this stuff you're doing. And you won't listen to me when I say, babe, no, babe, stop, babe, I got it, babe, you can't. And you're like a bulldog. You're there and you're overpowering and you're being aggressive. But
first of all, I'm not aggressive.
No, baby, you're aggressive.
Okay.
But you won't let me or allow me to even help you up or to help you in the bed or to help you stand up. So hypocrite much?
Yeah.
So then tell me what's the difference? Okay, because your whole thing is you say that because a lot of the times you tie to our age. Because at this age, I shouldn't have to be doing this stuff for you.
Right.
You can flip it. At this age, you shouldn't have to be doing this stuff for me.
But I feel like.
So what's the difference?
The difference is the level of pain and the level of, like, the level of pain that you have and the level of pain I have is two different pains. The level of pain where you're on the floor crawling because you can't walk is something totally different than this. This is your back, right? And this is my mindset, because I knew you was going to say that I was a hypocrite. And so I'm like, so I know that you legitimately, you can't roll over. You can't get out the bed.
You can't either.
I can roll over, babe. I can get down off the bed. You can't. When you have episodes,
you
can't
look
even
like
do that.
poo. You sliding down off the side of the bed. You look like our 15-month-old grandson who just looking for his little feet to touch the ground.
He just be sliding, hoping he can hit the floor.
And that's how you look. You sliding, hoping that you can just hit the floor.
I think what it is that we're so busy taking care of each other that we don't want to be taken care of.
No. It's you so busy trying to control every aspect.
I don't try to control
and trying to tell me what's good for me that you won't let me help you. That's the ground I'm standing on.
What ground you standing on?
That one right there. It has everything to do with you controlling, and you want to control everything, and you won't let me help you. That's what I'm standing on.
Everything. I just think here's the thing why why I want to have this conversation, because of the same thing that you just said. And I don't think that when you get married that this is a discussion that you have. Okay, baby, if one of us gets sick, what are we going to do? What does that look like? Because you think it is so far down. It wasn't so far down for us. We've only been married almost 22 years. Yeah. It's here.
And I think, what happens as well is that, and I could be wrong, but I think especially, like, I'm gonna go back to it, a lot of young couples, they don't want to have they don't want to have those conversations in fear that they're speaking it into existence.
Right, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to talk about those times, because I may speak those times quicker,
life and death in the power of the tongue,
then they should come. Where I kind of understand that, and you're right, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
But you gotta have this talk.
But there are conversations that you have to have. There are conversations that you have to prepare yourself for. And you have to know what it's going to look like.
Right.
Because you have to have the conversation. Like you and I had the conversation, and we initially had it jokingly, but then we had the real conversations. if I die before you, I don't want a funeral.
Right.
I don't want a wake. I don't want a memorial.
Nope.
I told you, I don't care what the law said. I said, bury me in the backyard. Tell the people I left.
We're not doing
and go about and use that insurance money and go about your business.
We're not doing that, baby.
I said, don't waste no insurance money on a funeral, on a memorial. You take all that insurance money and go somewhere.
You did.
And that's what I want. And see, and those are the conversations that we don't have.
I think because they become, when you do the "in sickness and health to death do us part," they become very scary conversations.
They are scary conversations.
Because
guess what? Marriage is scary.
Marriage is scary. Marriage is really, really scary. And like you said, it's an open-ended contract. You don't know what you're going to get. But I think more so too, I don't even think that people don't want to have the conversation. I just think they have more time. I really believe they think, we got time to have this conversation.
Well, I'm going to add just a little different to that.
Okay.
Different perspective as well.
Go for it.
I think it's partly that they think they have the time, but I also think it's partly they don't know how to have the conversation.
Because it's a hard conversation.
Because it's a hard conversation to have. Because it's a conversation where I'm coming to you saying, you know what, babe, if you get cancer, how do you want it to look?
Yeah.
What do you want? Stuff like that. If I get sick,
what are your wishes?
What are your wishes?
What are your wishes? What do you want?
Do you want if, God forbid, if anything happens and you flatline, do you want to be resuscitated?
Yeah.
Do you not want to be resuscitated?
Yeah.
Do you want to be on a life support? Do you not want to be on life support?
Yeah.
These are the conversations that, let's be honest, a 21, 22-year-old person, because first of all, they already think they're immortal.
Right.
They think they're out here the Highlander. Here we are born to be kings.
Oh my
We're the
gosh.
princes of the universe.
Really, baby, really.
So they're not looking at having the conversation with the person they just married.
Yeah.
Fresh off the honeymoon.
I also think too, it's also asking your significant other, do you have the capacity to handle what's coming your way as we get older? Because you have that there's a capacity that you have to be able to hold, for that part of the vows where it's sickness and health till death do us part. And again, people just fly by that. And the reason why I want to have this conversation, because I don't want people, it was the reality of his back and the reality of my knee was like, whoa, like people need to have this. This is a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? What if it becomes an issue where I legitimately can't walk, or I legitimately need a cane, or I legitimately need these other things? What does it look like for our marriage? What does it look like for when we want to go away? I mean, it's just those small things. It's like the small details, you know what I'm saying? That you need to really think about, what people just don't think about or conversate about.
Yeah, and here's the part where I think I lose some family, and it's okay. You have to know how you're built. Yeah. Because a lot of things people say where you don't know how you'll react. You don't know what you'll do until it happens. In a lot of ways, that's true. Yeah. But then in a lot of ways, you know how you're built.
You know the capacity that you can hold.
You know your capacity. That does not mean that you don't love the person.
Right, absolutely.
It doesn't mean that you don't want to be with the person.
Absolutely.
But you have to know your capacity. And that's why there's certain conversations you have to have, not only with your fiance, your girlfriend, your newly married spouse, but you have to have with yourself before you make that decision.
Right.
Are you built to go through the storm that way?
Yeah.
Are you built to watch your loved one become sick, become ill, become dependent on you, become dependent on someone else? Are you built for that? Yeah. Because what happens sometimes is that you say, oh yeah, I love her. Sickness and health, death do us part. We in this together. Woo-hoo, go team. Until the sickness come. Right. And now you don't know what to do.
Until something simple as the back and the leg come. You like, wait a minute.
There are people that have left marriages. Yeah. The moment somebody got sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the real illness came. Yeah. And it's not that they didn't love the person.
They didn't have the capacity to
They wasn't built for it.
They didn't even know that it would be like this.
Right.
They didn't know that it would be. I remember with mom and pop because at one pop started getting dementia. So he would repeat stuff, all the time, or he would say stuff or forget stuff, or,
Right.
or I remember my uncle, he was diabetic, which I didn't even know this was a thing, but he was diabetic. And when he didn't take his diabetic medicine or whatever, he was a really evil, angry man,
Yeah.
because of his diabetes. And so you say, in your mind, you're going, I didn't sign up for this craziness, but you did. So you have to have these conversations. The goal for me on Freedom Friday, you don't feel free right now. I know
this is depressing Friday.
No, it's
but sometimes you got to have those depressing conversations.
This has to be a heavy conversation because right now, with all that's going on in the world and the illnesses that is happening in the world, we need to have these real conversations. We can't keep glazing past stuff and act like stuff is not going on. Our marriage, my prayer is that our marriage will be so fortified that we will have this conversation. What, like you said on what if?
Yeah.
What if? Because the what if is real, and I didn't think that, because I love my husband. I love when he helps me with, I'm just like he said, I want him to help me with everything. I didn't know, honestly, that I would be like that when I got sick, when it starts hurting, or I didn't know that I wouldn't want to take something as simple as your hand because I felt like I was being dependent versus independent. I didn't know. You don't know how you're going to feel about all of that until it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, because any other time because when I'm healthy, I'll be like, help me do this.
A healthy Angela is so different from a non-healthy Angela.
Yeah.
They're almost two different people.
Because I go into myself.
Yeah.
I go into
myself.
You
go into a shell, which is for you. It's odd anyway.
Yeah.
For you to go into a shell.
I do, and I'm like, let me figure. I don't ask the kids for help. I don't bother anybody. I don't, If it could be me and my daughter in here together, and I'm like, I'm not bothering her. I will literally sit on that chair until I figure a way how to get out that chair. Now, I have had these times where
45 minutes, family, to get out the garage when all she had to do was call me.
Let me tell y'all what happened.
45 minutes.
Let me tell y'all.
Instead of just calling me and saying, "Bae, can you please come help me?"
I went to the garage to go separate my grandbaby clothes.
It's always about poo.
From the summer winter. It's always about summer, poo. Fall, winter. I gotta get his little sweaters
Half
together.
My garage is dedicated to him.
It really is. Get his little winter clothes together. And so the first mistake I made is I sat in the beach chair. Beach chair because it's very low. It's lounging beach chair. And so in order for me to really get up and get my ground, I've got to hold on to something. Well, if I held on to the little, because if y'all got all these little beach chairs that y'all get from Dick's, y'all know if you press down too hard, that thing is crushed. So I'm sitting there and I'm doing it and I'm doing good. And then I realize I am in the wrong chair. So now I'm looking around and there's nothing literally nothing for me to hold on. So I'm trying to grab boxes and bins, but they're too, they're not strong enough.
Right, they're not sturdy enough.
And I'm like, I'm not calling Sanchez. He's in the house. Because remember you had drove past me to go to the dumpster. You went to the store to get us something to eat. You was like, "Babe, I got everything in the house for you. Yeah. You sure you're fine?" Because he came by. He's like, "Babe, I'm going to
checked on her a couple of times."
He said, "Babe, you fine?" When he left, he came back. He said, "Babe, are you fine?" I'm like, "No, babe, I'm fine." So he gets in the house, and it was really hot that day because I even had the fan on in the garage. And so I was like, I am not gonna have him walk down here after he came and checked on me twice. Walk down here to get me out of a chair. This is ridiculous.
But you rather pass out from a heat stroke.
But it didn't make no sense. Why would I call you to walk from the house out of the bed down here to get me out of a chair? This is my thought process. Let me just say my thought process, babe.
And please say it, but your thought process is flawed.
So it was my thought process. So I okay. So I saw a bin. I tried that. That didn't work. I was like, okay. So I sat there for a while. I was like, okay, I'm about to burn up. This fan ain't really working. So then I see, I got this tall
lantern. Decorative lantern.
Yeah. So I pulled that close to me. Couldn't do nothing with that.
Because it's a glass lantern.
I know. So I was like, no. Then I was like, okay. So I tried to pull some boxes closer. That wouldn't work. I was like, okay, I'm about to break Sanchez's chair. Okay. So about 30 minutes into this thought process, because I'm finished with poo clothes, they're in every bin, they're really nice. I'm like, well, I'm gonna stack the bins on top of each other, and then I can do it that way. Guys, that did not work for me either. So I'm like, if whoever, because the garage door is open and the neighbors straight across can look in. I said, now whoever is looking at this hot mess.
Now, family, right now we 40 minutes in, family. 40 minutes into her trying to get out this chair.
So I made an executive decision. I threw myself on the on the garage floor. I just threw myself. I was like, all right, slide down, turn the chair over, hit the floor. So I turned the chair over, got on the floor. So then I thought somebody was coming by. So I sat on the floor and crossed my legs like I was intentionally on the floor looking for something. I was like, because I have bins too that has smaller drawers. So then I was like, okay. So then I was like, I know these yoga poses. So I'm gonna do yoga. So I'm gonna put myself in a position where I can do downward dog, right? And then I was like, okay, I can do this. So I rolled myself over on my stomach, did my hands, and did downward dog, like by lifting myself up, and that's how I was able to get up, y'all.
Family.
So I told him, I was honest, because we mostly tell each other everything, good, bad, and different. So I said,
Family.
baby, he's like, well, baby, what took you so long? I thought you were supposed to been done. You told me you were finishing. And then I told him, oh, he was
45
hot.
minutes. I was livid, family.
Ooh, he was hot.
I was livid.
He was hot.
45 minutes. She then threw herself on the floor. She risking injury by throwing herself around, getting on the garage floor to downward dog herself up when all she had to do was make a 3-second phone call.
I know.
Babe, come to the garage.
I know.
That's it. But see, the more I listen to that story and the more we have this conversation, the more I realize it's not all about you just trying to protect me. Some of this is just stubbornness when it comes to you.
I just, you know what it is too? I thought in my mind too, I thought, because I don't know, I can't even think any place else.
You can't. Thank you. Family, let me, as the wonderful, my auntie always says, my auntie Judge Judy always says.
Oh, now she your aunt?
She my auntie.
It's your auntie?
It's in there. The lineage is in there.
Oh my God.
If you ever look at her side profile, we look alike. If you ever look at the side profile.
Auntie Judge Judy.
Auntie Judge Judy. Mm-hmm. Let me quickly disabuse you of something. Family, if you are a person that says, in my mind I thought, or I thought to myself, please stop saying those phrases, because there is no other place but in your mind that you can think, and there is no other person but you that you can think to, because the moment you verbalize it, it is no longer a thought, it is a statement. You cannot think to anybody other than yourself.
Anyway, I thought to myself.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
But you know what it was? It wasn't even stubbornness. I was like, do I really? It came to a point was like, I don't want to be an inconvenience. Right? And no, baby, I'm just telling you, like I said, we're talking. I'm telling you, we're having a true conversation. I'm not saying that it's correct or it's right or I should feel that way, but I was like, I really don't want to inconvenience him. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get my tail out this chair and get up. And so I found a way and I got up and then I came down the street.
But you will call me to say, babe, Pooh got one sweater still left in the closet. Can you bring that to me, because it needs to be in the winter clothes and it's still with the summer clothes, and I'm not going to be able to sleep because that one sweater is mixed in with the t-shirts. Can you bring that to me? Now you will make that phone call, but you won't make a phone call to say, hey babe, I done threw myself on the ground. I have fallen and I can't get up.
No, I did downward dog. And the way, when you get up, when you do anybody who do yoga, when you do downward dog and they make you push your hands up to rise yourself up, that's what I did.
What you should be is completely ashamed of yourself.
You know what? As I'm having this conversation, I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not ashamed, but I will say, yes, I am stubborn.
Very much so.
I still feel like I'm trying to protect you and not be an inconvenience for you. I don't know why I feel that way. I just do. I'm being honest. But so I know family members are going to be, they always texting, calling, emailing, and everything else about this subject. But I don't know.
I
can't really put words to it.
I get it. I personally feel like your thought process is flawed.
Okay.
That's all. Because once again, if it was a situation that, if you kept that same energy throughout everything we do.
Okay.
If you never wanted to bother me about assisting you with anything, then I'd be like, okay, this is just who she is.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
She's a person that doesn't really like help. She likes doing things on her own. I get it. But when it's, you only ask me to do, and when I say this, I'm not minimizing what you asked me, but just compared to what we're talking, the topic we're talking about. when you ask me for the trivial stuff all the time, but then the stuff that really matters, you go mum, like you take a vow of silence. That's the part that I feel is more stubborn. I think it's more. I could be wrong. I've never been a therapist, but I play one on TV.
Okay, go ahead, therapy.
I think it's more you not wanting to give up your independence when it comes to that, because the other stuff is a choice. You're choosing to ask me for help. You're choosing to have me involved. You don't need me to do it.
You can or cannot, and it's
Right.
okay. It doesn't affect me
because
one way or another.
it's going to happen. You want me to be involved. It is a choice. It is an option.
I love us doing stuff together.
Right. But the times where you're physically unable to, you feel as though your independence is being taken away from you. So you're going to fight it to the bitter end to make sure that in that aspect you still have control.
Yeah.
And that's where my frustration comes in, because it's more of does part of it have to do with you not wanting to inconvenience me in that matter when it comes to health? Yeah, I think that's a small part, but it's not as big of a piece of the pie as you're trying to have me believe it is.
Okay.
I believe it's more about you, and when I say this, I'm not trying to be condescending, but it's that controlling nature of you, that part you're not willing to give up yet. And you're like, I just can't. And so I'll throw myself on the ground.
I'll figure it out.
I'll take 45 minutes. I'll be in this garage. It's 155 degrees. And I'll get dirty and I'll just figure it out instead of making that phone call and saying, hey, babe, can you cut me for a minute?
I think another thing too, when you said that, because I had an aha moment as well, because sickness takes your control.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Because when sickness and disease comes into your body, you legitimately have no control at the time that this all is going on. When I can't walk, I can will myself all day, but if my leg don't do what I'm needing it to do at the time, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's always this battle.
Yeah.
So I can see where I want to, this is my battle. This is my fight. You know what I'm saying? And not that I won't, it's my battle and it's my fight. And it's not that I don't want to tag you in. I think I have to be bloody, beat up in the ring to tag you into certain things. And I know it's wrong. I'm just giving this analogy because, again, like you said, this is my fight. And I just refuse to lose to sickness and disease, you know?
And I get that. And in a certain way, I commend you on that. But then also, don't be Apollo Creed.
Oh, you have to do that then.
I'm just saying, because that was his philosophy too. I got this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fight this battle, and I'm the only one that can fight this battle, and I'm gonna fight this battle. And no matter what happens, you do not throw in that towel. You do not help me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know how to end it for Apollo?
He died.
He died in the ring.
He died in the ring. I know.
Drago said, if he dies, he dies. And guess what? He died.
He died.
So, and I get that. And I get your independence. And I get you not wanting that last bit of power that you feel like this particular illness or this particular situation is taken from you.
You're taking control of my body.
Right. But with that being said as well, don't die in the ring when you don't have to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm your corner man. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
That's what we're in this fight together. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you and help you get through this and clean up the cuts and give you the water when you need it, massage your shoulders. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know?
It just seems so frustrating. You know, it is. And again, I think because the more frustrating part is because we never really had this conversation. Like, I need you to understand that this is our conversation for real live. Never had the conversation.
Yeah,
just
no.
never. We try to just be as transparent, honest as we can, and I'm being as honest as I can. That really bothers me. I'm like, that's like, come on now. I'm too young for this foolishness.
Yeah, because
come on.
Yeah, because unfortunately, what happens is there's a lot of important conversations that people don't have until the situation comes up.
Yeah.
People don't talk about sickness until sickness comes up.
Yeah.
People don't talk about death until death comes up. People don't talk about, finances until a financial, until a financial situation comes up.
Yeah.
And now their back is against the wall.
Yeah.
And now they're having to have these conversations.
Yeah.
They, we have the conversations, where do you want to live and what school district and, what color do the walls want to be and where do we want to vacation. We have those conversations.
Yeah.
But we don't have the conversation. What if at 32 you get sick?
Yeah. And I was just thinking, I had an aha moment too when you just said that. The same way that we save money in the bank, we need to save these conversations in our emotional and mental bank, so we can withdraw for those things when the emergency does happen.
Right.
And we're not pulling from everywhere, looking in the chair for quarters and nickels and dimes, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what happened with us when this started happening to both of us. We never really had the conversation, so we didn't have the conversation saved in a bank that we could pull from and say, okay, well, Sid just told me if he gets sick, this is what the deal is, or
right.
If I get sick, he knows that I'm so independent, let me do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you would have received it more had we had that conversation, like, babe,
yeah,
I'm independent. I just want to do. If I get sick, let me. And if I don't ask you, just wait for me to ask you. Let me do this, even to the detriment of myself. And I think, but we didn't never have that conversation, and we just did it, or we just reacted to what we were going through. And I think that's the way it is. So I think there needs to be a emotional savings banks for things such as this that we can draw from.
I like that analogy. I love that analogy because, let you know a little secret with the Crenshaws. We have multiple accounts. We have an account strictly for bills. We have an account strictly for poo. We have an account strictly for vacation.
Yep.
We have an account strictly for savings. We have an account strictly for emergency funds. We have an account strictly for fund money. We have accounts.
We have accounts.
Yeah. And so what we do is that when bills come, we pull from the bill account. We don't pull from Pooh's account.
Exactly.
When things comes up for Pooh or things we need to do for Pooh, we pull from Pooh's account. When an emergency comes up, we don't pull from the bill account. We pull from the emergency account.
Absolutely.
When we do that because it keeps everything aligned.
And we're ready.
And what you just said was perfect. When you have those conversations, because if you're having that hard sickness conversation, but the only account you got set up is love, or the only account you got set up is kids, or the only account you got set up is finances, because those are the only conversations you ever have.
Yeah.
Now you're pulling additional funds from somewhere the funds are not there.
Yeah.
Because they were never allocated for that account.
Right.
So you have to have the sickness account.
Yeah.
You have to have, the anger account. You have to have the disappointment account. You have to have those accounts because you have to have those conversations. Yeah. So when you disappoint me, we know how to have those conversations.
Absolutely.
Because we have the account for it.
Right.
That makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
It makes absolute sense.
It makes sense.
It's just like when we know if we're going too far in our conversation, pineapple, that means it's over.
It's time to shut it down.
Shut it down. We know that we just hit the verbal, emotional account. And when you hit pineapple, that account,
at that point we about to get overdrawn.
Yeah, we about to get overdrawn. So let's go ahead and disperse that to each other and respect each other enough to know that we'll come back to this later. So absolutely. So yeah.
Did you get everything you wanted out of this conversation?
Absolutely, I did. You heard me, and I heard you.
I did, but did you really hear me though? That's what I want to know.
I heard
did you really hear me?
I did hear you, and I will be mindful that you helping me is what you want to do, and it's not a burden on you, because now you know how I feel, and you said, baby, that's not a burden on me. You're not inconveniencing me. It's not a burden. That's what I want to do. So that gives me the freedom to know those times where I really, not just because I just don't want to do it, but when I really know that I can't do it, or if you do offer your hand, that I'll take it, So I thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely.
You got a final word for the family?
Communication is sexy.
Communication is sexy.
Real communication is sexy.
Effective communication is sexy.
It's sexy. Yeah, it is. I'm going to get a t-shirt that says that.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Don't say that out loud. Somebody going to steal our idea.
Steal our idea. You right. What about you? What's your final?
My final thought is going to be really simple. No, seriously.
Hey, baby, I didn't say nothing.
It's a final thought I've had before. Family, have the hard conversation.
Yeah, have the whole conversation.
Have the uncomfortable, ugly conversation. Because that's the only way your relationship is truly going to last. That's the only way your relationship is truly going to be meaningful if you have those true, ugly, respectful conversations.
Yeah. And also, I will say this because I do it all the time. I
You
know.
do it every time.
Take inventory and see what is the capacity that you can hold. You know, like when you get in a chair or you get somewhere, we say this room can only take this much people,
Right.
or this chair can only hold this much, or this can only take this much capacity. Know how much of a capacity that you can take for your marriage and what you may be going through. And that's the reason why you want to go ahead and have those hard conversations so you can begin to make a deposit in that area, that in the sickness and the health and the death to us part area. You want to make sure that you start making deposits so when the time comes, you know what to withdraw, where to withdraw from. So yeah.
I love it. Family, hopefully you're able to take something for this. Hopefully you're able to glean something from this conversation.
So important.
My prayer is that this conversation will open up conversations in your life. That is our prayer.
Yeah.
So family, we just thank you for listening. As always, however you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, whether it's Podbean, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Google, whether it's iHeartRadio, on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. Family, as always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all in the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes, we are.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys.